Here we go, guys. We've reached the bottom of the turd pile. Arguably, no, not arguably, this is the worst WrestleMania of all time. It's worse than 11, worse than 27, worse than any other WrestleMania. This WrestleMania is a steaming pile of dog shit. Excuse my language, but that is exactly what this WrestleMania is. I was reading other reviews. Bret Mix from Wrestling DVD Network gave this show a 7.5. What kind of shit was he smoking? Anyway, that's a different story. 16,891 fans paid to watch nothing. WrestleMania 9, April 4th, 1993, from Las Vegas, Nevada. The hardest part of this show was the watching. The reviewing is going to be easy. But I went on ahead and I watched the dark match for you guys as well. It's on the network. I had never seen it too, so I wanted to see if it was any good. It was Papa Shango against Tito Santana. This match was a dud. Absolute garbage. 8 minutes. Longest 8 minutes of my life. But this WrestleMania is significant because it was the first WrestleMania that Jim Ross called. The opening match of the night was actually good. Something that was a diamond in the rough. As a matter of fact, the first two matches on this show I thought were really good. You had Tatanka facing Shawn Michaels. Tatanka was facing Shawn Michaels. In what I thought was a solid three-star match almost. You know, I mean, I really did think that these guys really, put on a great match. I hate the fact that Tatanka won by countout instead of actually getting the title, but I guess it was a way of making Shawn look strong. It's click politicking at its absolute finest. But opening match was good. Steiner brothers versus the Headshrinkers was alright as well. 2.5. That was good. Then we get to the shit pile. We get to everything else that was absolute garbage about this WrestleMania. Like I said, worst WrestleMania I've ever seen would be WrestleMania 9. So, you get to Doink the Clown versus Crush, which I gave negative 1.5 stars. I don't go into negative that often. I don't. I'm usually very, very good when it comes to rating and doing a whole bunch of stuff. You can literally turn this WrestleMania off after the first two matches and you would not miss anything. Doink beats Crush with the help of Dink. Yes, Dink the Clown made his debut on this show. Dink. Let that sink in. I'm getting a headache just thinking about this. This is one of those shows that didn't have to happen. They could have easily booked it a lot better. But yes, Dink was on this show. God, what else do I have left? Todd Pettengill talked to the camera about a bunch of random stuff. He talked to the cameraman. Razor Ramon fought Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund's a former WWF champion, and he's jobbing out in less than 4 minutes to Razor Ramon. Got to make Razor look strong. Click politicking at its finest. But Razor, I understand he had wrestled at the Rumble against Bret Hart in a very solid match at Rumble 93. That match was a very, very solid match. I liked it. I thought it was really good. But he fought Bob Backlund here. You knew he was getting the win. There was no point in Bob Backlund. But it's crazy to me because Bob Backlund just 2 months prior to this lasted an hour in the Rumble match. It was in the final 3 of the 1993 Royal Rumble. But he lost in less than 4 minutes to Razor Ramon. I'll tell you, WWF logic at the time, man. World Tag Team Championship match. Money Inc. versus the Mega Maniacs. Money Inc. won by DQ. I'm not going to lie to you. I've seen people think that this match is good. The match itself, to me, wasn't all that bad. It just drug out way too damn long. And it was weird seeing Hogan in a tag match here, but it was also weird because Hogan had a huge-ass shiner on his face. He had a big black eye on his face. And I'm not going to go with the jet ski incident. I'm going to go with Randy Macho Man Savage beat his ass. That's what I'm going to say. Is Macho Man beat him up. That's what I'm going to go with. And you're going to notice the cursing's a little bit more in this episode. That's because of how bad this show gets to me. And it'll be like this at 11. It won't be this bad at 10 or even 12. But it'll be like this at 9, 11, 27. All of the bad manias. Because this gave me a headache. And you'll see what my final... By the way, before I go on, you know what I rated the show overall? I was kind. I was kind with this rating. I gave it a 2 out of 10. And that was me being kind. I could have given it 0.5. Or I could have given it 0. Or I could have given it 1. But I decided to give it a 2 based off of the first 2 matches. But, Todd Pettengill took on, interviewed Natalie Cole. Nothing important there. The narcissist, Lex Luger, defeated Mr. Perfect. Not going to lie to you. At this point, I almost wanted to take a nap, so I really did not pay attention to this match. I had to go back, rewatch it, whatever. I was not paying attention at all. Narcissist got a win. Do I really even have to say much? This is the part where I wish I would have fell asleep. It's funny to me, though. Shawn Michaels and Mr. Perfect attacked Luger, but earlier in the night, Sherry had attacked Luna. Luna attacked Sherry, and Jim Ross made the call. Luna is attacking Sherry at the first aid station. What? And then Bobby the Brain Heenan was like, super. It was funny. But, oh my God. Then we get to a match that I think was arguably the worst WrestleMania match in history. I don't think I'm going to give a match at WrestleMania lower than this. You know, I gave Doink and them negative 1.5 stars. This match gets almost negative 4 stars. Gets negative 3 3/4 of a star. The Undertaker versus Giant Gonzales. Whose idea was it to get El Gigante and to put him in a human body suit where I could see his ass and everything else? I don't want to see that. Whose idea was it? Anyway, Undertaker goes to 3-0 and has the first blemish on the streak before he would lose to Lesnar. But this was the only match in the streak that he won that wasn't by pinfall or submission. And screw this. This match was this match was worse than Bundy's match at Mania 11. Although I gave that match a dud, that gets 0 stars. This match was worse than his match against Sid at Mania. This match is worse than his match with Boss Man. Although that match with Boss Man's close. This is worse than his match against Big Show and A-Train at Mania 19. This is worse than the casket match. It's the worst WrestleMania match in The Undertaker's history. And it was not even his fault. It was Giant Gonzales' fault. Then you have Hulk Hogan cut a promo to challenge the winner of the main event. I don't think he's going to get involved at all, do you think? No. Yokozuna won the number 1 contendership from winning the 1993 Royal Rumble, last eliminating Macho Man. And here he is, fighting Bret the Hitman Hart for the title. Now, in Bret's defense, the match was not as bad. I actually think, to me, I think it was slightly a little bit better than the WrestleMania 10 encounter. You know, of course, Yoko would win this one. Bret would win the one at 10. This is just, I don't know. I don't know why you think that it's, you know, Yoko wins, beating Bret Hart. Bret had Yoko in the sharpshooter. Mr. Fuji threw salt in Bret's eyes. He beat Yoko. Not really much to say there. And then you have the man who gets thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of title shots. You have Hulk Hogan go out, bury Bret Hart's spot, bury Yokozuna's spot, and you build Yokozuna up to look like an absolute monster. And you have Yokozuna be this absolute phenomenal guy and most dominant guy. He's almost 500 pounds. Excuse me, over 500, near 600. And he loses to Hulk Hogan in 22 seconds. Now, I hear Hogan was supposed to drop the belt to Bret, SummerSlam. Ended up dropping it to Yoko at King of the Ring. You know, this is just, I've told y'all, this is God, man. And I know some people have a nostalgic feeling about this WrestleMania. Man, when I tell you this is the worst WrestleMania of all time, it's the worst WrestleMania of all time. When I told you my overall rating for the show was 2 out of 10, this show is worse than 11. Like I said, this show is worse than 27. It's, for me to have 3 matches on this card that I went into negatives, and I don't go into negatives that often. I usually do anywhere from 0 to 5. So the fact that I go into negatives 3 times on this show, if you're doing WrestleMania reviews, skip over this show or just watch Shawn Michaels and Tatanka. That's like the only match that's really worth watching, or the tag match. WrestleMania 10, though, would be great. And I told you WrestleMania 8 was great, and it's a difference a year makes. 8 was good, 9 was shit. 10 was good, 11 was shit. 12 was good, 13 was shit. So they had that pattern where it was a winga walk, where it was all like 1 year good, 1 year bad, 1 year good, 1 year bad. You know, and it's just, it's one of those things that, you know, it comes with the time. You know, 1993 was going into that time with the steroid trial where they had a lot of things that were going bad for him and not really that many things that were going good. You know, you didn't really have that many major stars at the time. You know, you were still building up Hogan, and then you would also have Bret Hart, who would end up winning the King of the Ring in 1993. He would be the man who you would have go on to win it. And I think that was ultimately, in the end, the right decision for them to have him win. But for him to lose to Yoko here, and then Yoko to lose to Hogan in 22 seconds, it's an absolute travesty of injustice, man. It's one of those things that will always stick with me, and it's one of those things that always really gets into my crawl when I think about the history of WrestleMania. I think about the history of everything else that's going on in WrestleMania history. It's one of those things. I just want to take this WrestleMania, put it on the top of Mount Everest, and take a huge ass shit. That's literally what I want to do. I literally want to take this whole thing about it, put it in a toilet, and just shit all over it, which is exactly what I was doing. I literally have done nothing but shit all over it because that is what I do. Coming up on the screen here in just a second, you're going to see the pros. What exactly were the good things to happen? Can I find good out of this shit? Actually, yeah. Shawn Michaels Tatanka was good. Steiner's versus Headshrinkers were good. To me, that was shit, but it was the good smelling shit. So it was not the shit that goes all the way down. It was still garbage, but it wasn't as bad. The cons, everything else on the show was absolute. You know, it went from human shit to horse shit. And, you know, my final grade for the show is an F minus, 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 minus. Yeah, how many minuses did I have to go into? Not just the F, but an F minus. Worst WrestleMania of all time. You know, and people make the argument with this one where they say this is the worst, or 11's the worst, or 27's the worst. This is the worst to me. There's no show that is worse than this. WrestleMania 2's not this bad. WrestleMania 4's not this bad. WrestleMania 11's not this bad. You know, but guys, I need to hurry up and wrap this review up because my head's starting to damn hurt just thinking about this damn piece of manure that I'm having to sit over here and review. Man, I'm about to just leave, and you know, in the review. Anyway, guys, like I said, next episode is going to be one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. We're going to be talking about WrestleMania 10 with 2 5-star matches. Anyway, guys, hope y'all enjoyed the review. I'll see you guys later. Anyway, peace. Your boy Killer Cam is outie.